In the complex landscape of professional analysis, the most valuable resource isn't raw computing power, sophisticated models, or even the latest learning applications cluttering our devices. It's the intellectual capital we build through consistent, habitual learning. Despite their sophisticated design and gamified interfaces, the mere presence of an app like Insight One from the investmentanalyst.com on our desktops, tablets, and phones does not automatically translate into meaningful professional development. The key lies not in accumulating learning tools, but in developing sustainable habits that seamlessly integrate with our daily analytical workflow. The modern analytical workplace is awash with learning applications, promising transformation through technology. Yet, experience shows that merely downloading another educational app or subscribing to another learning platform rarely leads to sustained professional growth in isolation. The challenge isn't access to information. It's developing consistent, repeatable learning habits that become as natural as checking market updates or reviewing financial statements. The data at theinvestmentanalyst.com clearly shows this behavior. As soon as individuals start building learning habits, they have very strong consumption and minimum churn rates that lead the industry. We even have a feature on our Insight One app that allows users to set learning reminders. These learning reminders give our users a little nudge at specific times during the week, so they can set aside a little time to develop. The foundation of effective microlearning lies not in the tools we use, but in the habits we cultivate. Cognitive science demonstrates that our neural architecture favors frequent, focused engagement over extended study sessions. This biological predisposition aligns perfectly with the development of sustainable learning habits. Just as a trader develops routines for market analysis or a valuation professional establishes protocols for company assessment, the successful analyst must develop reliable habits for continuous learning. The traditional approach of carving out extended periods for professional development, whether weekend study sessions or lengthy evening reviews, often proves unsustainable in the face of demanding analytical work. Instead, the focus should shift to developing high-frequency, moderate-intensity learning habits that can be maintained consistently over time. A 15-minute deep dive into working capital analysis each morning, practiced religiously, yields far more excellent results than sporadic hours-long study sessions that disrupt work-life balance and prove challenging to maintain. Consider the methodology of Elena Martinez, Director of Valuation at a leading advisory firm and one of our Premium Plus subscribers. Rather than relying on scheduling extended study sessions, she developed a set of simple, repeatable learning habits. Before opening her email each morning, she dedicates 15 minutes to mastering a specific concept. She uses the platform's Elasticsearch functionality to isolate topics she wants to focus on. It's a habit that has become as ingrained as her morning coffee routine. The power lies in the habituation of learning. The compound benefits accumulate rapidly when knowledge acquisition becomes automatic, requiring no conscious decision or extra motivation. Elena's approach doesn't depend on motivation or available time. It's simply part of her professional routine, as fundamental as checking market updates or reviewing client communications. The impact of consistent habitual learning manifests through compound growth in analytical capabilities. Each small daily investment in professional knowledge builds upon previous learning, creating an accelerating development cycle. These aren't isolated learning moments, but interconnected steps in a continuous journey of professional growth. When an analyst develops the habit of examining a new valuation concept each morning, or regularly dedicates time to understanding market dynamics during natural breaks in their workflow, the compound effect becomes remarkable. A technique learned through today's brief study session illuminates tomorrow's analysis. A market insight gained during a short review transforms next week's valuation approach. Each piece of knowledge is a foundation for future learning, creating an accelerating professional development cycle. The key to successful microlearning lies not in the study duration, but in the consistency of practice. Rather than focusing on marathon learning sessions that prove difficult to maintain, analysts should establish sustainable patterns that can be maintained indefinitely. This might mean a morning ritual of exploring one new analytical concept before the day begins, using model calculation time for brief deep dives into specific methodologies, dedicating the first 5 minutes after lunch to read market analyses. When developed into habits, these patterns require minimal conscious effort to maintain while delivering maximum professional benefit. The mathematics of compound growth applies as much to professional knowledge as it does to financial returns. An analyst who habitually dedicates 15 minutes daily to focused learning accumulates not just 65 hours of annual study time, but also the exponential benefits of knowledge integration and practical application. These benefits manifest in increasingly sophisticated analysis, more nuanced market understanding, and enhanced professional capabilities. As markets grow more complex and analytical requirements more sophisticated, the ability to continuously develop and refine professional knowledge becomes increasingly critical. The solution lies not in accumulating more learning tools or scheduling longer study sessions, but in developing sustainable habits that make continuous learning an automatic part of daily professional life. The competitive advantage in professional analysis increasingly depends not on the tools we use or the apps we download, but on our ability to consistently expand our analytical capabilities through habitual learning. Analysts can build and maintain the intellectual capital necessary for sustained professional excellence in an increasingly complex market environment by focusing on developing sustainable learning habits rather than relying on technology alone. The true power of microlearning emerges when it transitions from a conscious effort to an unconscious habit, when learning becomes as natural as breathing, and professional development flows as regularly as market updates. In this way, we build not just knowledge, but sustainable patterns of excellence that compound into remarkable professional growth over time.